Hello, and welcome to Lesson 7, close reading of excerpts from My Librarian is a Camel. How do people access books around the world? Let's take a look at today's learning targets. First, I can identify the main idea of a passage from My Librarian is a Camel by using illustrations and reading the text closely. Second, I can record key details from a passage of My Librarian is a Camel into categories. And third, I can discuss how the main idea of a passage from My Librarian is a Camel is conveyed through key details. Each one of these learning targets you should be familiar with, as we have had lots of practice with all of them. Over the next few days, we are going to learn about how books are brought to children in 5 different countries. First, you are going to become an expert about one country. Then you are going to teach others about the country you have learned about. Let's take a look at the excerpt from My Librarian is a Camel, found on pages 18 and 19. This excerpt is about Kenya. Looking at the pictures, and I see a caption here that says, "These young readers are grateful for the books brought by Camel." I'm going to read the text, and then I'm going to see if I can identify the gist of what I've read. This is the first step of close reading. Kenya. The roads in Bula Ifton, 200 miles northeast of Nairobi, are impassable because of the desert sand, even for cars with four-wheel drive. But young people who live in nomadic villages in the area are hungry for books. So librarians use the most economical means of transportation, camels. Library camels are on the road 5 days a week. They can carry heavy loads and need little water in the heat of the desert. One camel may carry as many as 500 books, weighing about 400 pounds. A driver and a librarian divide the books into 2 boxes. They saddle them on the camel's back, which is covered with a grass mat for protection. A second camel carries a tent that serves as the library roof. When thinking about the gist of this section, I know that the children want books because they are grateful, and that cars can't get through the desert. So librarians use camels. Let's read the second page. After looking at the pictures, I see a map and a caption. Republic of Kenya. Capital, Nairobi. Estimated population, 32 million. Kenya is a country in East Africa. Kenya's climate varies. The coast, which lies on the Indian Ocean, is hot and humid. Inland, the climate is temperate, but the northern part of the country is dry. The official language is English. The national language is Kiswahili. The students in Bula Ifton eagerly await the arrival of the camel. When the library caravan finally reaches the village, the children watch as the librarian pitches the tent and displays the books on wooden shelves. The librarian places the grass mat on the ground in the shade of an acai tree, making a place where the children can sit. The students can treasure their new books for 2 weeks. When the library camel returns, the children can trade their books for new ones. Here's another caption. These camels are ready to bring books to children in remote villages. In this lesson, you are going to read another excerpt. In this lesson, you are going to read another excerpt from My Librarian is a Camel. You will work in groups. Each group is going to be assigned a different country in which you will become an expert. Your first step is to read the excerpt you are given independently for gist. After you have read your excerpt for gist, you will discuss the main ideas and key details with your group. Collaboratively, you will complete the graphic organizer that is the same as the one you completed in the last lesson. Once again, for your country and the mobile library that you studied, you will answer the following questions. What do you know about the main idea right now? Who is the passage about? Remember, we are looking specifically at mobile libraries in the country you read about. Next, what physical features in that country make it difficult for people to access books? For example, in the excerpt about Kenya, we know that the desert sand made it impassable even for cars with four-wheel drive. How do people overcome these difficulties to access books? Remember, you're thinking specifically about the country that you will be reading about. In my example from Kenya, we know that they overcome that particular challenge by bringing books on camel. What else do you notice? Look at pictures, maps, and other important information. After you have answered these questions, look closely at the details and think about what you think the main idea of the text is.